Well, the host communities must be seen by government as critical, to the oil and gas industry and also to every other extractive mineral in the country. Because without the host communities being in partnership with government, without the host communities cooperating with government, without the host communities opening their doors to governments to come in, I'm sure it would be very difficult for governments to move into those places. And so they must have justice. And what do I mean in this case? When you extract, you are taking money from such communities. There is need to give back to that community. A portion of the money that is taken should be given back to the community. It is sad that most of the host communities, when you visit those places, you see schools dilapidated, you see roads that have been abandoned. The people are, they're witnessing millions of petrodollars, millions of money taken from the extraction of other minerals from their communities. And yet they live in abject poverty. For me, there is no justice when we allow that to happen. So, climate justice entails that when you take these from the people, there is need for you to also give it back to the people and make sure that they feel the positive impacts of the extraction of minerals from their communities and not only the negative impacts like corrosion of their roofs, pollution of the environment and all that. So there is need for climate justice for every host community in this country.
And where there is no climate justice, how can the host communities pursue it?
Well, good enough, the Petroleum Industry Act that was signed into law recently by the National Assembly and also assented to by the president of the country, the immediate past president of the country, that act has given a lot of provisions, has made a lot of provisions for the host communities to seek justice, to seek their rights, to seek inclusion. And I expect that every host community should get a copy of the Petroleum Industry Act and then have some legal experts go to them to explain this for them. And the host communities, they should come together, they should, organize themselves and work like a formidable bunch, a formidable fold of people where they can aggregate their concerns and then present these concerns out there first to the companies that are extracting mineral items from their communities, and also say it out there to the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to the government of the states, and also to the media. Let the world also know what is happening in your community as a result of the activities of the industries that are extracting minerals from there. It is so unfair to a people if you go there as a government, if you go there as a company, and then you take mineral resources, precious, resources that fetches you billions of dollars, and yet you don't give back to that community. So the community, the host communities should have this consciousness. The consciousness of the members of the host communities should be awakened at this point so that everybody will understand that you have rights as members of the host communities, and government should not only wait until the people are crying out before government can listen. There is need for government to on its own. There is need also for the extractive industries, the companies that have been in those host communities, to do the needful without necessarily stressing the people to carry placards and protest to the National Assembly, protest to the State House of Assembly, protest to government houses, and so on. Let the proper thing be done, even without the prompting of the host communities.
A traditional ruler yesterday, from what I have read, mentioned that his community has taken about 5 companies to court to seek redress and get justice. Is that also not an option communities should take?
It is an option. I mean, any host community that feels marginalized, any host community that feels abandoned, you know, or ill treated by the companies that are operating within their communities, they have the option of also going to court, right? But I like to tell this story. I like to tell this perspective about going to court. I'm a litigation lawyer, and I've done it for a number of years. And I understand the complexities of going to court. I understand the time that can be wasted. One matter can be in court for 5, 6, 7, if not 10 years. The oil companies and the other companies that come to extract minerals from communities, they're the money bags. They have the money to bring the best set of lawyers from all over and then take that matter up to the Supreme Court. For a matter to start from the trial court and go to the Supreme Court and come back, 15, 20 years would have been over. Now, these communities are in dire need of development and attention. These communities cannot wait for 15 years or 20 years before the Supreme Court will order for the proper things to be done. So, whereas litigation is an option, but I am thinking that we can give to the host communities what is rightly theirs without necessarily subjecting them to the rigorous, process of litigation that we all know in this country. It doesn't start and end tomorrow. It takes a lot of process. So there is need. It's about doing the needful. It's about the companies having what is called corporate social responsibility, being socially, being responsible, and understanding that when you take $100,000 from a community, a percentage of that should be plowed back directly into the community. When these things are done, I'm sure the people of Akwa Ibom, host communities in Akwa Ibom, they're not really after litigation, they're after development of those communities.
Thank you so much.
All right, anyway.